Hey everybody, Superfluous J here, playing more Kerbal Space Program, and we're back from Moho. Or, we're not back from Moho, we're we're done with the Moho mission, and I spent all the science. I had about 1,000 of it. I basically got everything. The only thing I don't have is plane stuff, and right up here under nuclear power, I don't have the pub nuke isothermic generators. I don't have any plan on using those anyway, so it's not a big deal. However, I do have nuclear engines. Francois, you'll be happy about that, and I will be using them when we take people to Moho, which is coming up very soon, 23 days. We got a couple things to do before that, though. I want to look at the contracts here. I picked up some contracts, a lot of them. We've got Planet Flag on Minmus. I'm just going to take that every time I get a chance to, because, hey, it's free money. We've got the Sentinel contracts. We've got 2 of them. We've got a Comet one, and somewhere around here, we have a, there we go, a asteroid one. We're going to be launching that probably today, I'm hoping. We've also got this thing on Moho that we're going to be doing eventually. I also picked up a couple EVE contracts, because if you look here, EVE window is coming up in 144 days. It's the next thing to happen after Moho. So we have multiple things to do. We've got a mission to Moho to go. We've got a Sentinel thing to launch. And then we're going to be sending 2 satellites to EVE to A, get some science, and B, set up some relays so that when we do go to EVE eventually, we'll be able to do it in style. We also got a rover construction contract on Minmus. Now, I checked my debris, as somebody suggested, and there is no rover in the debris. So I'm going to accept this contract here, and we're going to see. We're going to go right to the tracking station right now to see if we get a rover. We do have a rover. We had 0, and now we have 1. So, where is this rover? Unfinished Minmus Explorer, 9MOP. And it's way up here. It has its own thing, and I think we can fly this thing and see what it looks like. So let's see what it needs. What does this poor little rover need, and can we bring it to it just from the station? That's the big question. And of course it's pitch black, so you can't see a darn thing. But this rover, let's see. Oh, it's got room for people in it. It has wheels. It has mystery goo. Looks like what it's missing is power generation. That's funny. It's got this little bumper on the front. Yeah, what it seems to be missing is power generation. So, yeah, let's look at that. Yeah, it has no electric charge whatsoever. So what we need to do is we need to fix this thing and drive it to this location, I believe, is the way it works. Let's see what this thing looks like. Land on Moho. Vessel. Orbit returner Moho. No, that's not it. Where is this contract? So many things. Move the rover. Note. Move it to this. Yeah, so that's all we have to do is slap a solar panel on this thing. So that's ridiculously easy. By the way, I'm doing this with my thing because I've been playing Dyson Sphere Project, which is very good. Sorry, Dyson Sphere Program, which is very good. If you like Factorio, and Satisfactory kind of didn't really do it for you, but you like the idea of 3D Factorio, give it a shot. It's pretty good. But the way you rotate around is with the middle mouse button, so I keep doing that here. But anyway, so we're gonna send this thing. We're gonna get this thing a. Oh, that's funny. It's got RCS jets too. Does it have RCS fuel? It does. So yes, we're gonna get this thing a couple solar panels, and we are going to drive it over here. So that's also coming up, possibly in this episode. We'll see how everything works. Let's head back to the Space Center, though, and see what else we're going to be doing. What else we're going to be doing is warping to Dawn and launching, when I find it here, the Sentinel-1. If these are different, no, they're not. Okay, so they're apparently the same one. One's like the default, I guess. Let's go ahead and launch this thing. I notice Ogden and Mariah have been hired. They're going to Moho eventually. Possibly this episode. I don't know. It is 24 days away, and we got a decent amount of stuff to do. Or 22 days away, and we got a decent amount of stuff to do. So Who knows? I sure don't. But the Sentinel is a very simple ship. It is launching on, I think I'm going to start calling these the Arrowhead launchers. It's a very simple SRB with a thing on top. It's going to be a little squirrely to control, so we're going to be fairly, I don't know, exuberant on the initial turn here to get our gravity turn going, and then we cannot touch this thing until it is pretty high up, until at least the apoapsis is around 70 or so, so that we're high enough up that the atmosphere doesn't affect us too much, because this thing is not what you would call aerodynamically stable. This is the kind of rocket that I would tell somebody you really shouldn't be building a rocket like this if they were to ask on the forums what's the problem with their rocket. I would say it's just terrible to control. But anyway, it does get into space. I've launched it just to make sure, and it just has probably the simplest Sentinel satellite you could probably think of on it. I'm gonna turn off the. I'm hoping I can control it. Yes, I can keep it. I can keep it sideways, which is perfect. Yeah, our apoapsis is above 70 now, so I want to get as much horizontal as I can possibly with this thing. It's a terribly inefficient launch profile, but it's still an efficient rocket because this is so cheap compared to something that would be a little bit more throttleable and steerable, etc. So, still totally valid way to do this, and plus I like it. It's it feels like you're cheating, right? So anyway, so this thing's gonna get our apoapsis up out of the atmosphere, our periapsis fairly close to ground, which is fine. I mean, it's only maybe 100 kilometers underground before this thing burns out. Then we are going to time warp up into the get out of the atmosphere time. And then I want to throttle down because I definitely don't want to be running this thing. And it's a very simple ship. I put a battery on here just so that it would keep control. Probably a waste of battery, but it's better than losing control, right? So let's go ahead and extend this antenna. Let's extend our solar panels because we have very little electric charge on this guy. Although, why does he have 270? Does this thing have electric charge in it? No. I don't know where the electric charge is on this guy. 270 on here. Huh. Okay, apparently that's one of the upgrades we got. I probably didn't need that battery on there. But hey, who cares, right? So, job one. We got to get our our periapsis out of the atmosphere. On the bottom here. 87 is perfectly fine by me. Let's go ahead and aim at that. We'll warp to it. Love that cloud craziness, but what are you going to do? Yeah, that must be the one of those upgrades to the probe cores that I got. I'm used to the Octo having like 15 electric charge, so I will be honest with you, I didn't even check. I just assumed, and obviously I assumed incorrectly. So, not a big deal. That gets our periapsis out of the atmosphere. It does. Okay, now we just need to set up a maneuver node to get our orbit down to what the contract says. By the way, you don't see these orbits until you have sun as your target, if you've ever had that problem. But I just want to burn down until my periapsis gets right around here. Not too bad of a burn. That looks fine. Gonna aim at that and warp to it. It has this antenna, which got us reach home from Moho, so it should always reach home from the other orbit. We got the Sentinel thing on here, and we got some fuel. That's basically what it is. Got a pug, which comes with the Missing History mod. It's an engine he added to give you better parts, and I like better parts. So, and they're very stock alike, which I appreciate. He being Snark, by the way, one of the forum regulars, moderator, all around good guy. I'm gonna time warp because I really don't have any fear that this thing's gonna have trouble. maintaining. And as soon as we get our periapsis down in sun orbit to something close to what I like, we're going to kill this. And right here, yeah, we could probably give it a little bit more. There we go. Perfect. And then right here, we're going to add a maneuver to bring our sun orbit down to about where we would like it to be. Looks like we're a little bit off. So it might need a little bit of TLC here. That's probably very close. And it's a 731 meter per second burn. We've got over 2 grand. We'll have about 2 grand when we're done. So we shouldn't have any trouble with that. That is 190 days away, though. And obviously, we're going to get a lot more done. We're going to be launching to Moho and Eve before that comes. So we are going to add a maneuver node alarm so we don't forget about that. And then we have to start planning our Moho ship. First, though, because that's 22 days away, and I don't really want to launch until we're getting a little bit closer to that, let's go ahead and take care of Minmus. Let's go ahead and focus view. Let's see where this rover is. It's in the dark. Is that it? No, this is Minmus Science Getter. Is this the rover? No. They better not have deleted the rover. Oh, this is the rover up here. It's in the light right now. So let's go ahead and switch to our Minmus station and take care of that. Let's get this thing done. All we need to do is slap a solar panel on it and then drive it over there. So it shouldn't be that hard. The main thing we need to do is get a solar panel in here. So Chris, go ahead and hop out. Go up and down the ladder a little bit, and then let's go into EVA mode. We're going to grab a solar panel and put it, I guess we could just put it on here. It's not a big deal. Just put it on there, and then we'll put it on the craft when it goes back in. That seems fine. That seems fine. Let's go ahead and disconnect here. Turn the computer on. And plan, let's see, there's the guy. I guess we could do it right now, like right here. There's no other place I'd rather be. That seems pretty fine to me. Let's turn trajectories on, make sure it's actually reasonable. I think that's very reasonable. A little bit north. Not going to hurt anything. Yeah, that'll be fine. Okay, let's time warp to it. Should probably make sure we're not going to crash into the station. We also make sure we're controlling from the right part. Control from here. There we go. Now we'll aim at the maneuver node. That's looks like we're totally fine as far as all that's concerned. Doesn't really matter when we burn. Anything will be close enough. As we get closer, this will jump out, which is totally fine. And that should be perfect. That should be perfect. Let's go ahead and hit F5. Let's warp to here. Let's go into surface mode, retrograde. Let's close the alarm clock because we don't really care too much about it. Yeah, there's our target, and there's where he has to drive to. So all we really got to do is, how is that for a view? You're just staring at the ground as you fly by. That's pretty awesome. Let's see, where's our target? Yeah, trajectories and the target thing match, which is nice, I guess. Let's go ahead and turn that off. Yeah, we don't see the target marker, but it's out there. And it's just on the other side. It's like way over here. So we're heading 100 and some odd meters per second. Let's go ahead and get about 10 kilometers away from this guy, and then we'll hit the gas a little bit. Slow down to 100. Yeah, it should be fine. I'm going to get a little bit closer before I hit the gas again. I don't want to have to walk too far. And actually, I'd like to be able to slap that solar panel on it without having to walk at all. 23-second burn. We should probably hit the gas a little bit more here. Still don't see my target marker, which is, I'm going to say, annoying. Oh, there it is. Okay, definitely want to hit the gas now. There we go. This is looking pretty good. I do like that target marker. Sorry about that stealth edit. My cat decided to knock a huge box over in my room and then run over my foot with his claws out, which was awesome. What are you going to do, right? Literally, what are you going to do? Someone tell me, please. Love him or hate him. I'm sure he's fine. He was well away from the box before it actually fell over. And it was just a cardboard box. It wasn't anything big. Okay, we got a 5-second burn. That should put us right next to this rover. Really don't see any problems. And I would imagine, whoops, that being this close to the rover, we'll be able to attach the thing to it right away. And landed. Nice. Okay, let's go ahead and turn. Oh, that's weird. It's not down there anymore, but okay. So we need the engineer to go EVA. Now we can hide this thing. There we go. So let's go into I mode. Let's go ahead and take this, slap it on here. We don't really care what it looks like. And you might as well be the one to do the job here. Go ahead and hit I again. Go ahead and get in the rover here. Grab and board. Now that is some rover here. Okay. So we want to kill any wheel authority we would possibly have. What's wrong with these? Yeah, traction control. I guess we do need the RCS. Yeah. Nope, that doesn't do it. Not enough resources to drive. Oh, because our electric charge needs to be built up. Cute. Cute, cute, cute. And we don't have... We didn't bring another battery. Let's go ahead and time warp a little bit. Let the battery build up. Okay. Oh, that's cute. Okay. Yeah, this is why I don't rover on Minmus here. Okay, so we need to show actuation toggles. Yaw, pitch, roll. Turning these off, yaw, pitch, and roll, so that we don't use the RCS. I don't even know if this will work. Yaw, pitch, roll. Okay. So now I can turn RCS on, and it doesn't affect that. So now I can hit I and drive forward. No, I cannot. Oh, wait, the brakes are on. There you go. There you go. I totally knew that. Oh, there's more RCS on the side here. Yaw, pitch, roll. Yaw, pitch, roll. I bet they're on here too. Yes, they are. And finally, I assume there aren't any on the bottom. Okay. Let's get over here. Yeah, there aren't any on the bottom. Okay, we're going to activate navigation. We are 2 minutes away, traveling at 7 whole meters per second. We are burning through the electric charge, which is no good, really. We got a rock over here we could pick up. Like I said, I don't think they're worth anything more the second time you get one, but hey, why not? We could also just mark it and then bring up one of those rover arms, those scanner arms. But again, I don't know if they're worth anything after you've brought one home. I don't even know if you can scanner arm those things. We have yeah, move the rover. We're doing it. Plant a flag on Minmus. We got to do that. Let's see. Blah, blah, blah. Orbital resource survey of Moho. Oops. Yeah, I've built my Moho ship, but I don't have a survey 6 satellite on it. So I think I'm definitely not going to be doing the Moho launch today. Sadly. Whoops. This is what you don't want to do. That's fine. That's why we have bumpers. This is when you don't panic. Okay. Let's turn on SAS. We can't turn on SAS because we don't have a probe core. Okay, let's just assume everything will be fine. Let's put our brakes on. How about that? There we go. Perfect. Let's do this. There we go. Oh, wheel authority's on. That's the problem. There we go. Okay, back to where we were. Back to looking at this. Yeah, so we need a resource scanner. I don't have any plans to do any resource surveys, like any actual, like, have a reason to do that. But I wanted the contract, so we will do that. So I need to keep working on the Moho launcher that I have. Okay, we got the thing here. So let's go ahead and hit these on. Hit the brakes. Use our RCS to actually stop. There we go. And Chris, get out. You have successfully achieved. Can we take this back? Yeah, we don't need this. Just throw it in the lander can. Those are garbage anyway. We want your thing. I almost want to take these RCS jets instead, but nah. Oops. Let's go out of I mode. I don't care enough to do this. Where's our ship? There it is. Let's just get back to it. Don't care about the moon rock. Don't care about the rover, any of its contents. Don't care about the things on the ground here. I just want to go home. And by home, we mean the space station. And you know what? I might just leave them landed here because there's really no reason to send them back to the space station right now. They might end up with some other target on the ground that they could go to. But after this is over, I'm going to have to reconfigure my Moho ship. And I will probably meet you on the launch pad. Okay, and the ship here that's going to Moho is this crazy looking thing. I'll talk about it as it rises. How does that sound? Let's go ahead and eject here. We've got Pollux, I think, yeah, with enough fuel in them to transfer through the decouplers into the center stack so we don't use up any fuel here. Let me get this thing cranked over, let's say 10 degrees or so. And then let's check our apoapsis height. be a little aggressive with this burn here, and I think we can mark it on prograde here now. But anyway, the fuel is draining out of these side tanks as the solids burn, fairly standard for me. Also fairly standard. I didn't get my launch very well. Not very standard. The payload is kind of coming out of the fairing, which I do not like. I think that is bad. But as long as we get into orbit, I think I'll call it fair. Our apoapsis is 15. I definitely don't want to go too much farther than this. I think this will be fine. These fuel tanks run out like seconds before the solids do, which is pretty cool. I enjoy that. On a launch like this, let's get the fuel out. And the solids are petering, and they're gone. So goodbye to you. I also appreciate the way they fall away. Okay, we're at apoapsis 25, right at getting close to 30 degrees, which is basically perfect, so I'm pretty happy. Let's go ahead and get this guy. So up is up. And hopefully this thing will work. This is a very untested thing. I don't do a lot of testing, but I do generally like verify that I've got the right amount of fuel and that you know, like I'll create the maneuver nodes and things like that. I didn't quite do that this time. I sort of went with what worked last time as far as numbers are concerned. But then I fiddled around with it after that, so I'm not 100% sure everything's going to be fine. By the way, 2 new hires. We've got Mariah and Ogen. They are destined to come home because we, to complete the contract for Moho, we do need to return from a successful landing on Moho. So that is the goal for this mission. Also the goal is to not die burned up in the lower atmosphere. So I'm going to turn off my my aim here, and notice my time to reach is 17, which is a very low number of seconds. Not what you would call super happy with that. I am willing to revert to launch because I probably would have paid a little bit more attention to that had I not been talking into the mic. But it looks like we might have halted the decrease in the time. And hopefully we'll see. Yeah, we'll start getting an increase now to 16. So as long as we don't explode, and I don't want to explode, we should be fine. Our time to reach is going up, so I'm going to pull this back down a little bit so we're burning a little bit less off of prograde. And this thing, ideally, it's going to have enough to get this thing to intersect Moon's orbit when we do the eventual launch to Moho, but it looks like probably not. And I'm willing to let this thing be space trash. It's going to help us eject to Moho as well. These 2, I think they're mastodons. Yeah, these 2 mastodons will get us a pretty good ejection velocity, at least for the first 674 meters per second here. I got my apoapsis up to 90, and now I'm letting it come back down. I was kind of hoping that we'd be higher up so we'd get less drag when we're sitting here coasting along, but I think that's fine. Once it gets down to probably 75 or so, I'll hit the gas again, get it back up to 90. Shouldn't have too much worry with electric charge. We have a ton of electric charge on the ship, mostly because we've got a lot of requirements for electric charge. In particular, we have a satellite that's going to do a resource scan of Moho to complete a contract. But that satellite is also going to be our relay scanner, so it has enough batteries to do the resource scan. And also basically run the rest of the mission. Although we're going to be detaching it in sun orbit because it's going to be it's going to do its own circularization burn. We are almost out of the atmosphere, which is nice because this was one of the more shallow trajectories I've ever launched, to be honest. And there we go. We are out of the atmosphere now. I'm going to ditch the fairing. Here's our crazy looking ship. We need some solar panels. Did I forget solar panels on this thing? I think I did. Yeah, well, I brought 4, so I guess we'll slap 2 on there from this one. I totally forgot solar panels. Anyway, here's the 2 relay antennas. Probably could have gotten away with 1, but I needed symmetry, so I figured why not. Yeah, I don't have any solar panels. I was planning on putting solar panels on the sides opposite these, and I totally forgot. But luckily, that's what you got orbital construction for. We've also got nukes, along with the fuel tanks. We're doing standard drop tanks, nothing major there. And other than that, it's a fairly standard thing. Here's the lander. We got our 2 Kerbals in here. They're going to transfer to the lander on the way down. We're not going to deploy a surface science thing. I was going to do that, but I decided not to. This could have been a one-person can, but I just didn't bother changing it after I decided not to deploy surface science. So they both get to land. I think that's fair. They went all the way to Moho. They should probably be able to land. Let's very quickly get ourselves a nice circular orbit here. That should be fine. Aim at it. We do have reaction wheels. They are very small. They will take forever to get us aimed at our maneuver node, but that's okay. I'm actually just going to turn off this and time warp until we actually aim at it. And then real warp to lock on there because I'm a cheater. And then let's warp to here and get ourselves into orbit, and then we'll plan our ejection to Moho. Now, unlike last time, I'm going to use the what Astrogator says to do. I think that'll be fine. I think I have enough fuel to do that. If I don't, there's always a rescue mission, right? There's always a refueling mission possible in all circumstances. Yeah, 90 by 86 is totally fine. Let's go ahead and just turn the computer off. Let this thing do whatever it wants. Let's go ahead and do Astrogator to Moho. 22 days. I think I'm going to get the ejection burn done, and then I'm going to do the rest of the Moho mission next time. Let's go ahead. We're conveniently aimed at it. Let's just go ahead and lock it there. And we have nothing else to do until either, let's bring up the alarm clock, until either the Eve window or the Sentinel. So the Moho window is the only thing to do. So let's go ahead and warp to it. It's 2 hours away. I stopped time warp manually for a reason. That's because this auto warp, I think, does a bad thing and tries to warp you to 1 minute away, and this is a 4-minute burn. So let's go ahead and warp to it manually here. I should be hitting F5 because I don't know if I'm going to warp past it because I'm going to be a little impatient here. 1 hour, 0, 3, 30 minutes. Oops. Let's go. Come on. 5, 4, 3. Okay. 3 minutes away. We should have time to actually aim at that maneuver node. I'm going to go into double time warp just to get this thing swung around. And once we get our ejection burn done, I will go slap solar panels on different things, like the satellite. The satellite should probably have 2 of them. And then we'll take 2 on the lander, and then the mission plan is to take those satellites off the lander and put them on the return capsule. The return capsule itself doesn't actually have solar panels on it by design. So that's just the way we roll in the space program. Let's go ahead and get ourselves right down to the wire here. We are aimed at the maneuver node. We start the burn in 8 seconds. And Ogen and Mariah are ready to go in 2, 1, go. And there it is. Now, as soon as this finishes, we are going to kick off all 5 nuclear engines, which is going to take our thrust to weight from 2.5 down to about 1.1 or something ridiculously low like that. It might actually be less than 1. I don't remember. I can probably tell you here. Yeah, 0.48. So that's a thing. So here we go, and done. Goodbye, chemical rockets. Hello, Nuclear Inferno. So this is going to be a good 3-minute burn. I don't like burns this long for interplanetary. I don't like them this long for anything. So I think I'm going to double my time warp, but not any more than that because I'm frankly terrified. I do have these things locked to their interior, so they should be a little bit better. Also, the fuel is draining out of only the outer tanks, and when these tanks are done, we're gonna drop these guys. That's gonna be an interplanetary space, though, so that's not a big deal. Okay, I think we have an ejection. We do. We have an ejection from Kerbin, which is nice. So we can pay attention to our sun orbit now, which is this. And like I said, I'm doing exactly what the maneuver node thing says to do, for no better reason than I don't feel like doing the extra work. But we're going to get this ejection and then bid you adieu. So if you don't really want to see this, I guess you can leave. But why would you do that when you never know what's going to happen, right? No, you pretty much know I'm going to end the episode here in about 45 seconds real time. But I hope you enjoyed watching this. I definitely enjoyed playing it. Next time we are going to get ourselves mid-course correction, which is in 83 days, which means that's still the next thing to happen. And then our periapsis in 118 days. So that's actually very close to the Kerbin Eve window. So next time we're gonna probably get this guy around Moho and then be ready to book it to Eve with just a couple satellite launches, something simple. Obviously a full bevy of flyby science or orbital science for at least Eve, if not Gilly. But we have the satellite for Eve and the satellite for Gilly, so we'll probably do both of those. But if you enjoyed watching this, please leave a like on YouTube. If you want to see more, please subscribe. Also on YouTube. I am Superfluous J, and I will, as always, leave it at 0.3 meters per second and talk at you later.